Hey there, guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts number 241, New Player Experience, and I'm joined again by Scarhoof.
Yo, 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 everyone.
Yo, man, we got this.
Yo, indeed.
This one's pretty interesting.
Uh-huh.
So it's written by three different people: V, Abrigado, and Twinson. So this first part is written by V and Abrigado. New player experience. So in the last several months, we have been working on deciding the fate of the campaign in the demo tutorial missions. And then this part this is written by Abrigado, and I'm not sure if they're a dev or because I've never heard the name before in the way
Yeah,
they're
I haven't
saying
either.
stuff. It seems like they work in education. We'll get into that. So, I'm Ben. My experience as an educator using Factorio in the classroom means I have thoroughly examined new players, young and old, and have played the first 30 minutes of Factorio for as many hours as some players spend on a single mega base. Wow. I'm pretty sure I would get bored of that, but
Uh-huh.
the systems of Factorio are deep and interconnected, so creating an onboarding experience for a single concept poses many exciting challenges. We find that the free play portion of the game is already enjoyable to its target audience, but those who prefer a more guided experience only get the short campaigns, which don't really even utilize all the features we've added to the game. On top of that, brand new players need to dig through a tutorial, which takes 30 to 45 minutes to get automation, which is what the game is about. So they want to keep the demo so that anybody who wants to try the game can do it for free and get a proper representation of the game and its features and such. It should serve as a tutorial and teaser. And then they go into this, and this is what's interesting how he breaks this down. Currently, we
hmm
find the demo has the following problems. The impact of the first level isn't very visually representative of what Factorio is. Now, I think you're in the same boat I am. I don't think either of us have actually played the campaigns.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so I can't comment on this at all because I've literally just never even opened them. Um, so I'm just gonna take their word for it. I mean, I know a lot of viewers have played them, so they'll probably understand this better. So it gives the impression of being a Minecraft clone in the first tutorial mission by having to mine manually and do handcrafting, which
And that is true of free play too.
that is true of
When
free
you just
play.
yeah. And I can definitely see because that's like the first like 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
It's like the equivalent of punching wood in Minecraft, right?
exactly.
Like you don't just punch trees for an entire Minecraft game, so you quickly move on to other stuff. So I get why they would want to skip past that as quickly as possible.
Right, exactly. Although, I mean, I would say that most games are going to be like that. So, I mean, it does compare to Minecraft, but at the same time, I don't think that many people think of it as a Minecraft clone because, when you think about even an RTS game, right? You
hmm
start with nothing and you have to slowly move up and micromanage stuff to get things going before you can actually start building, a base or a city or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But uh
Yeah, but at least in an RTS, you usually have minions from the get go, right?
yeah, that
Like
is
you usually
true.
start with
But
like you start with a base, and you start with like a couple biters or whatever, or a zerg or what zerg bite swarmers or whatever they're called, and
mhm.
then they'll go out and they'll start collecting things for you. So at very least, you have the minions. Whereas in this game, you're literally a dude with a pickaxe, and you're sitting there
That
mining
is
up
true.
coal. So I get why they want to make sure that it's very clear that this is not a Minecraft clone.
Yeah. Key concepts like assembling machines and electricity are not presented for the first two levels, which I obviously
hmm
didn't know, but I think that is kind of a issue. Player actions are so heavily constrained that the player learns just how to solve the tutorial rather than learning the concepts we are trying to demonstrate. Uh,
hmm
each of the levels is disconnected from the previous, which item recipes are available, that there are suddenly built structures and location is completely different. That I see as a huge problem.
Yeah, especially the location.
Yeah,
It's not a big deal to maybe take what they had built previously and add like a couple walls or maybe a couple other assembly machines or something like that. That way, at least they see, okay, we've kind of progressed in the game by about 15 to 20 minutes,
hmm,
right? People can get that. But just completely zooming them to a new section of the map with totally different structures and new stuff in your inventory, there's very little disconnection or a lot of
yeah, a lot
disconnection.
of
Sorry.
disconnection. Yeah, I think that's definitely the biggest problem so far I've seen here. Grindy tasks like obtaining X resources in the second tutorial mission don't have any clear purpose. The player does it because they're being told to, not to achieve some other goal that would make sense in the progression. A lot of information is not important and just floods the player with noise. For example, many of the messages and the places where the player gets the information are scattered. Objective window in the top left. The player character talking to themselves in the console, and the chat in yellow, or console chat, and the yellow tab bubbles here.
I love that the objective and the tab bubble both basically say the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like it's like that Windows error that's gone around where it's like an error, and then the error message says you have an error.
Yeah, pretty much. But I do agree. This is very kind of a little bit disorienting and pretty scattered. And then 3 different information channels competing for attention. In this case, also 2 of them telling you the same self-explanatory information, just like what you just said. Whereas the current objective is shown if you didn't get it, while the chat informs you that your character is alive. So, objective, this is like an example. A typical objective is without purpose. I guess the game will tell me what it is for soon. Objective, craft the iron axe. Doesn't this message resemble another game? Minecraft. So, yeah, I mean, getting as a tutorial, I think the objective isn't too bad. Just like get X stuff, but if it's like in the campaign too, typically, a campaign does actually have like a reason to do something. So I can see why this would be a problem, where it's just like, here, get this, and there's absolutely no reason given as to why you actually need this stuff.
Right. Yeah, and you have to think about this is their way of introducing this game to new people, right? This is the demo. They're not going to give you the full game for free, and they've already stated that they're never going to discount it, right? So they have to give people a playable version of it, and if that playable version is so vastly different than the rest of the game, it's going to upset some people, right? Because some people might think, oh, well, this is how you play. You're given different scenarios. No, that's not Factorio, really. That most of us think. And on top of that, because Minecraft is so ubiquitous, and you got Terraria, and you got so many other games and very similar, in that genre, that if a person who has no idea what Factorio is sits down with the game for like the first minute, what are they going to think? They're going to think this is just another Minecraft clone, because they have no idea what it is. So in that first minute or two, they really want to show you that while the first few minutes of the game might look like Minecraft, it goes in a completely different direction. So they need to make sure that the brand new users see that this is a very vastly different game.
Completely agree. And on the top of my head, kind of going back to the thing with the a lot of manual labor right off the bat, is maybe something that could make it not so, boring at the start, and also differentiate it from Minecraft is like in the start, like in these campaigns or whatever, maybe they have like a burner miner and or even an electric miner and some power, although power they might want to leave the player to set up, but have like a burner miner and stuff already working into a furnace, and maybe like an inserter taking it out and putting it on a belt and going into a box or something. Because when you first look at that, you're going to be like, whoa, I can't do this in Minecraft without mods.
Right, exactly.
And you're going to be like, whoa, this is really cool.
Another option I have, I've always loved, and I had a whole series based upon this, is that if we were in a spaceship, you would think that we would already have like some basic modular armor on with like a single roboport, and maybe having one of those tutorials start with a little basic armor and some bots, like 10 bots on you, and having them already like assigned to doing tasks like clearing trees when you first zone into the game might be really cool. People would zone in and be like, holy crap, I have bots that are like mowing down trees for me. This is awesome. This is definitely not like Minecraft.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that would definitely be an attention grabber. So definitely, I think some stuff to be improved on there. And so what we would like to achieve with the new design is create an immediately gripping environment that better sets Factorio feel, which is what we just talked about. Showing and teaching core concepts like assembling machines and electricity in the first level using a little complexity as possible. providing goals through the technology tree, working with laboratories and technology GUI as soon as possible. Standardize the way players obtain new items. Every recipe has to be obtained through a technology. That way the player triggers recipe progression and gets them as a reward. Starting a new level should start the player at a similar progression state where the previous mission left off. Teaching by experimentation instead of jumping through arbitrary tasks, letting the player coming up with their own solution of a puzzle, and unifying the channels the player gets information from, mostly GUI improvements. Then after finishing the demo, the player should be ready to continue by playing the main campaign or jump straight to the free play. If you had to pick one entity that represents the game to you most, which would it be? And we kind of just went over this, but I think like your example, right, would be like the robots or something with like transport belts.
Yeah, transport belts, maybe inserters. That's a tough one, man.
Yeah, that's a really
belts
tough one.
And inserters, I would probably say would be the top two.
Yeah, so I think having one or better yet both of those, and maybe a third bots like already set up and actually being shown working when you go in, I think would be really, really good, you know, because like they said, you know, that's a representation of Factorio, and someone's instantly going to be like, you know, wow, you know, this isn't like a game I've seen before, really, unless, you know, of course they maybe played a lot of modern Minecraft or something, but this would just be vanilla. I mean, this is what Factorio is. So I think it'll be good if they improve that. I think I feel like having a campaign in general would be kind of cool, more so than just these like standalone levels they have. But at the same time, I mean, the free play is kind of a campaign. I mean, you still have like an objective you have to reach and certain like checkpoints you have to get to get there.
Right.
So I don't know. I think either way, it'll be really cool how they improve it.
Yeah, and it definitely needs some improvement. And anything they do, hopefully, will accomplish that, and then that will allow for, once they hit 1.0, it will bring more people in. They'll be able to discover the game a little bit easier, because it is an open-ended game. You know, It's not like Minecraft in that you end up building things. Like creatively, like beautifully, you know, you construct beautiful buildings or whatever. That's not really the point. It's more about the automation and stuff like that. So being able to showcase that from the beginning is paramount.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've already seen posts like on the Reddit and stuff of people saying like, you know, I tried the demo and then instantly bought the game. Well, if they did that now, you know, imagine how many
more they'll get.
Yeah, how many more they'll get if they make this much improved.
Yeah.
So, super cool. Last section, I'm just going to summarize pretty much in-game backer names.
This cracked me up.
Yeah, this one cracked me up too. But so pretty much, way in the beginning, you were able to pledge, like, buy the game at a certain level, or with the Indigo campaign, like pledge to support it, and you would get your name in the game on either a lab report, radars, or more importantly, train stops. So like when you put a train stop down, you'll notice it has a name. Those are like names people who bought the game and paid for a level put in to have their name displayed.
And it is, honestly, it's kind of weird when like some of my viewers find a Scarhoof train station.
Yeah. I found like it's always great, like always so exciting when you get like a Mad Zuri one or something.
Yep, I think I found a Zisto at one point.
Yeah, I think
I've
so
never found
too.
your name.
So the backers are able to change their name from their account page, and then on every release they update these names. While there's no longer a name to get in the game, we will still support the feature of changing, or still support the feature of the current names being in the game. But essentially, since the messages were not moderated, cheeky or offensive messages kept making their way in. I'm actually hesitant to say this for, I don't know.
Yeah, you can skip it.
Yeah, some idiot flags it or YouTube catches it or something. But having your train stations automatically named this is mildly funny. It's a bit confusing and not very family friendly at all.
No.
So to avoid the need for moderation, they want to disallow any further changes to the backer names in 1 week. So this is your final chance to get your final name in the game.
To get your ridiculous name.
Yeah.
For all eternity.
For all eternity. But they do say keep in mind that they will actually go through and delete anything that's obscene or offensive, plus anything we find inappropriate at our own discretion. So essentially they're saying, if you did some stupid name, now's the time to change it. Because if they find it, it's just going to be deleted.
Yeah, so if it was NSFW, then you probably want to go in and change it more to just something funny or cute or cheeky, like they said. Because I do appreciate seeing those. Every now and then I'll get these ones and I just have to stop and just smile or shake my head. I'm like, it's...
I wonder, like...
the internet.
The internet. Dude, I'm upset. I didn't, when I bought the game, I didn't get the level to get my name in the game. I'm wondering if I could, like, somehow, like, finagle my way in or, like, pay them or something, because wouldn't it be great to just have, like, a train stop just named, like, Xterm Splat or something, or, like, Xterm Undercarriage Inspector? Like, because the joke is, like, so widespread now. I think it would just be great to have that, but,
well, you know, you got plenty of fans, and, hopefully some of them are like, you know what? I don't need my name in the game.
Actually, that's a good point. Maybe I can just, like, steal someone, just have someone change it to that.
Fans of Xterminator.
Yeah, guys, if you...
take one for the team.
Take one for the team. Contact me on Discord if you're interested. But yeah, so just that's kind of a PSA, that bottom part. But this part, the campaign, the demo rework, really cool. You can definitely tell they're polishing this up for 1.0. And that's really exciting.
Yep, looking good.
Looking good. So I think that's going to do it. You have any last thoughts?
Nope.
All right. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts below. Especially, we're interested in what you think represents the game the most. And yeah, until next time, we will catch you later.